Hey guys, it's Stephen from howtosavemoney.ca, and today I actually need to upgrade my computer's memory. I have 8 gigabytes installed on my desktop system, which you'd think be plenty, but I normally have about 30 to 50 tabs open in my Chrome web browser, and that actually uses up more than 8 gigabytes of memory. So my computer's always complaining that I'm running out of memory. So it's time to go from 8 gigabytes, I think, to 24 gigabytes. And to do so, I'm going to use the process that I've published on my site, Never Pay to Upgrade Your Computer's Memory. I haven't actually used this process since I wrote it the first time. So I'm going to create this video, and then I'm going to update this article with the video and show you all exactly how it's done. So first things first, I need to get the System Scanner tool to see exactly what my memory configuration is. So I'm going to download the scanner here after I click the link. Now I'm going to install it. So here's the results. It took about a minute to run. They have changed it since I last ran it. I think it actually provides less information now, but it's still enough. I can see I have 2 slots empty, 2 4 gigabytes in those slots. So I'm going to try and fill each of these empty slots with an 8 gigabyte stick. My total maximum memory is 32 gigabytes, but I'm going to have 24 gigabytes after I'm done. And you can see that they've recommended an 8 gigabyte stick here of DDR3 PC3 14900 unbuffered RAM for $57. That would probably be American since this is Crucial.com, and we see we're at USA here. So it'll be a fair bit more expensive in Canada, but I'm going to see if I can do better than that or close to this price in Canadian dollars. It's also recommending here I get PC3 14900 RAM, but I know that I have actually a fair bit slower RAM than that. So if this is more expensive, I'm going to focus probably on getting the exact same kind that I already have. So I went ahead and downloaded another tool, CPU Z. So you just go to, or CPU ID, also known as CPU Z, and you just go download. And then the English, it says for Windows, you click Windows here. You click Setup here, and then I downloaded it, and the program looks like this. And it tells you all kinds of details about your computer, graphics, mainboard, caches, CPU. Just to confirm my memory speed, I went to the Memory tab, and it says right here the frequency is 670 megahertz, and we're on dual channel, so you have to double that, so 670 times 2 is 1340. So that's the actual speed that I have. So I'm going to focus on that speed. So now I'm going to take a look at some price comparison sites to see about finding the best price. I happen to know that ShopBot and PriceBat are particularly good for finding technology and RAM prices, so I'm going to start there. Alright, so I've searched for DDR3 1333. I could put megahertz there if I wanted to, but I didn't. 8 gigabytes for the size, and then I sorted by price low to high, and that gave me some results that were not exactly accurate. So what I do is I search for 8 gigabyte like this and go through the page. And I do get a couple of add-ons, but we're not purchasing an add-on, so that doesn't count. So there was nothing on the first page. It gave me lower sizes, like 4 gigabytes, 2 gigabytes. So I went to the second page, did the same thing again, and there's nothing on this page. So then I went to the third page, did the same thing again. And here the cheapest price seems to be here at Newegg. So I opened that up, and that looks to be a reasonable deal, $50 for an 8 gigabyte stick. So I'm going to start there, but I'm going to check PriceBat, and I'm going to maybe check some other speeds to see if I can find something cheaper. Oh, and I can also search for PC3-10600, which is just another name for the 1333 megahertz style of RAM. So I can search for that too and see what I get. So I did end up with some slightly different results here. So it does pay to search differently. On the first page, I get right to some more relevant results. I believe I'm on the first page. I may have gone to page 2. No, I'm still on the first page. And this is the one I found before, so it's still there. And this is a cheaper version. You can tell if it doesn't have any fancy graphics on it that it's cheaper RAM, but usually the cheaper RAM is still fine, but same price. So in this case, I would have chosen the one I originally found, but you may find something cheaper by doing that. So I didn't get any better results on PriceBat. I got something that looked cheaper at first, but when you click over, you see that it's like an eBay price or whatever. They show prices from eBay, which I wouldn't purchase RAM off eBay. So in this case, I found the lowest so far on ShopBot. So now I'm going to try some different types, faster speeds, to see if I can get a lower price. I did find another one with the same speed actually on Direct Canada, and you can see it's a real fancy brand, so that means it's probably fast. These are some of the speed times on how the RAM performs internally, which is different than the clock speeds. The lower numbers here is usually better, and it's $57, but it also has free ground shipping, so that might be something I consider if I can't find a different type at a lower price. So for the PC3 12800, I'm finding some similar prices. Lowest price is around $50, but that's for 2 sticks. One stick here for $50, $51. So no big savings there. All right, so I didn't find any lower prices on the faster RAM, but it was very similar price. So it's almost encouraging me to upgrade to this fastest type of RAM, but I may hold off on that. Anyway, it can help to have a little cheat sheet like this where you have all your search strings laid out in a row for all the different types of compatible memory that you can use. So I'm just going to use this, and I'm going to go look at some specific computer sites that I know have good deals and may not have been listed on the price comparison sites, just to see what I can find there as well. So I pulled out my article, 36 Canadian computer and electronic stores you've never heard of. So I can open up a few popular stores from this list. So I'll go with NCIX, I'll go with Newegg, and then I know another really cheap one is Direct Canada, and I think those are really the three that are good. I think Hookbag has some pretty cheap prices too, so I'll try them as well. So let's try NCIX and see what we get. Plug that in. I don't even know with NCIX if you can sort by the cheapest price, which is kind of annoying, but we'll see. Usually their specials are at the top, so so you just have to scan through here and see. So nothing strikes me as being cheaper than previously. So let's try this. We're looking for something under $50 here. That did not come up with anything really good. So let's try this. Search. So 60, that's a pair. That's a pair. Or $60 range. 56, again a pair. 60 for a pair. 63. That's getting there, but not quite. None of those. There's multiple pages here, but we can't waste too much time looking through. So let's try this. 53, but that's laptop, right? 204 pin. Laptop, you can tell by the shape too. Here's a good one, 53, but that's still a little more expensive. 65. So we'll try this. 65 for a pair. Another pair. 69. So 65. So nothing there. Nothing there. And then I'll repeat the process for Newegg, Direct Canada, and I think I put the wrong URL there, but and I'll let you know if I find any good results. So I found the previous $50 RAM here. You have to take note of the shipping though. For $5 more, we can get the next speed up. There is a cheapo model here too for $50 at the next speed up. So I didn't find anything else better. I think I'm going to go with this G.Skill Ripsaw X Series 8GB 240 pin. Middle speed, it's faster. than my other RAM, but it should slow down fine. It'll be an interesting experiment to make sure it does work with my existing RAM. And it's the only RAM I've seen that has a full 5-star review. So now I'm just going to see if I can get this RAM cheaper anywhere else. So I'm going to search for it by model number, and that'll tell me if it might be sold cheaper somewhere else. I did find a 2-pack of the RAM here for $110, which is $55 each, which I believe is basically the same price, but they do have free shipping. I could also price match here at NCIX, but that's not necessary because it is the same price. So I can save the shipping and get this 2-pack, which I need anyway. So that's probably what I'll end up doing. NCIX actually has the fastest version for the same price at $110 too, so that's an even better deal. So just as a final check, I've thrown the model number into Google, and I've clicked on some of these links, and that is the lowest price that I can find anywhere for this set of RAM. So I'm going to go ahead and make the purchase. Alright, I've switched to Direct Canada for the same kit because NCIX isn't offering free shipping. It's only on their clearance stuff, so I guess some of the RAM I was looking at previously was clearance. This isn't clearance, so it is free at Direct Canada, which I believe is owned by NCIX anyway. So I'm just going to buy it here. I could price match at NCIX, but I don't think it's worth the trouble. So I've just completed my order, and I've got 16 gigabytes of brand new, really fast RAM coming to me for $124.29. So I'm really excited about that. I think that's about the best I could do for that type of RAM. So if you want to do this process yourself, it's actually not that hard, and you don't have to go through as many steps as me. You can still do it much quicker and save a bundle. All right, hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.